Now, yesterday was the special day for Devi Kamakshi. It was Aipashi Puram day, the day on which Kamakshi Devi made her appearance in the Bilakasha in the temple as Parabrahma Swarupini. She made her appearance in order to kill an asura called Bandhakasura. And then at the prayer of the Devas, she stayed there. And that is how we are seeing Kamakshi in the Moolasthana, in the Gayatri Mantapat, in the temple. Now, the Murti whom we see there is not the consort of Shiva. She is the Parabrahma Swarupini, Paramatma Swarupini, Jaganmata. So we have to understand there are two levels of Kamakshi which are constantly being referred to in Mookapanchashati also. So one is the Para Bhattarika, Lalita Parameshwari, that Swarupa, whom we are worshipping in the temple. The second is the consort of Ekamreshwara. She is also Kamakshi, and she married Ekamreshwara. She did penance, Tapas Kamakshi, etc., etc. All that belongs to one facet of that Paramatma Swarupini. So now I think we will proceed with this. Shloka number 31. Mami, Vikshemahi.
वीक्षेमहि काञ्चीपुरे विपुलस्तन कलश गरिम परवशितं विद्रुम सगचर देहं विभ्रम समवाय सारसन्नाहम्.
Vikshemahi means we see. Kanchipure, in Kanchipuram, we see. Now he is giving the description of Devi Kamakshi. Vipulastana, Kalasha, Garima, Paravashitam. Paravashitam means stooping down. Garima because of the weight. Kalasha, pot-like. Stana, bosom. Vipula, very large. Very large pot-like bosom, and because of the weight, heaviness, that is Garima, Paravashitam, the body is stooping down. Vidruma Sahachara Deham. Deha is body. Sahachara is an associate. Sahachara is a co-worker, we all know. Now, he says the body is an associate of Vidruma. Vidruma means coral. Pavayam in Tamil. Coral. Now, coral color and Devi's color match. That is what he means. That is why he says Vidruma Sahachara. That means a form whose color is similar to Vidruma, coral. Vibhrama Samavaya Sara Sannaham. Sannaham means preparing for a war, armor, etc. Here it means a preparation, well prepared, well made preparation. Well made preparation of what? Sara, essence. Which essence? Samavaya. A lot of things have been put together. Samavaya means things put together. What is put together? Vibhrama is put together. Vibhrama is actually confusion, flurry. Now, what is the meaning of confusion being put together? Confusion is actually delusion because of the beauty. Here the reference is to the beauty. Her beauty causes delusion in the eyes of the onlooker. Now, each part of her body, each part of her form causes delusion. Now, if you keep looking at her eyes, you keep looking at her eyes. You keep looking at her forehead, you keep looking at her forehead, and so on. So, there is a cluster of vibramas, there is a cluster of confusion, the cluster of delusion, that is samavaya. Now, what is the essence of all this confusion? Essence is beauty. So, beauty has been put together in a preparation like a war. Now, with whom she is going for a war? She is going for a war with Shiva because she is deluding Shiva. So, the Sannaham is an indirect reference to her preparation like a war, like an armor for attracting, for enchanting Shiva. Sara is essence, Samavaya is the heap, the assembly put together of Vibhrama, delusion, confusion, caused by beauty in the form. So in Kanchipuram, we are able to look at Devi Kamakshi's form, which is stooping down because of the weight of pot-like large bosom, and whose form, whose body is similar in color to Vidruma coral, and whose form is a well-prepared arrangement of the essence of a heap of beauties, causing delusion. Yeah, next. Modita. No, next is Kuruvinda. Mami,
कुरुविन्द गोत्र गात्रं कूलचरं कमपि नौमि कम्पायाः कूलं कशकुचकुम्भं कुसुमायुधवीर्य सारसंरम्भम्
Kamapi Naumi. Naumi means I worship, I bow down to someone. Kamapi, come, someone. Kuruvinda Gotra Gatram. Kuruvinda is ruby, red color. Gotra is mountain. Gatram is body or form. Her body is a mountain of ruby. That means if you imagine a gem-studded ornament, a ruby-studded ornament, studded all over with ruby, that is her form. So it looks like a mountain of rubies. Kampayaha Kula Charam. Kampayaha of the river Kampa. Kula is the bank. Charam means moving about. That we have seen several times. She is moving about on the banks of river Kampa. Kulankasha Kucha Kumbham. Kucha is bosom. Kumbha is pot-like bosom. Kulankasha means bursting at the seams. Kula is bank, bursting at the seams. That means very large. Kusumayudha Virya Sara Samrambham. Kusumayudha is Manmatha. We have seen so many names of Manmatha so far. Kusuma Ayudha, flower, he is using as weapon. So he is Manmatha. Virya, his courage, his power. Sara, the essence of that power, essence of the power of Manmatha. Samrambham. Samrambham is again agitation, like some like Vibhrama, etc. Now, Samrambham is agitation, flurry. That means if you look at the essence of the power of Manmatha, he is using the same power differently on different jivas, isn't it? Crores of jivas, he is exercising the power at one and the same time in different forms, different ways. Now, all that may cause confusion, delusion, if you look at it from that point of view. Now, who is the power behind that power? That is Devi. That is what he is saying. Kusumayudha Virya Sara Samrambham. All this flurry, all this agitation caused by Manmatha, whether it is a single jiva or a multitude of jivas, now all that agitation which is caused by Manmatha's power, who is the essence of that? The essence is Devi herself. So I worship someone who is moving about on the banks of Kampa river and whose body is a mountain of ruby gems and who has a pot-like bosom bursting at the seams and who is the essence of the agitation of the power of Manmatha. Next, Kudmalita.
उद्मलितकुचकिशोरैः कुर्वाणैः काञ्चिदेशसौहार्दं कुङ्कुमशोणैर्निचितं कुशलपथं शम्भुसुकृतसंभारैः.
Now, he is using all plural here because of the sense of respect, sense of honor for the Devi. All everything is plural. Though there is only one person, he is using plural. Kudmalita Kucha Kishorehi. Again, he is describing the bosom. Kucha is bosom. Kudmalita means just blossomed. Kishora is young. Young flower which is just blossomed. He is comparing the bosom to a young flower which has just blossomed. Kudmalita Kucha Kishorehi. In plural he is using. Kurvanehi Kanchidesha Sauhardam. Kanchidesha Sauhardam Kurvanehi. Sauhardam means friendship. Suhrit is a friend. Bhagavan says in Gita, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. There he says, Sarvabhutanam Suhridam. He announces that he is the friend of all jivas, all living beings. So Suhrit is a friend. Sauhardam is friendship. Here it also means well-wisher. Actually, Suhritu, one who wishes you well. He is a friend, he is a well-wisher. So Sauhardam means she maintains the status of a well-wisher with Kanchidesha. Kurvanehi means maintaining, doing. Doing the status of well-wishership with Kanchidesha. Means what? She is the friend of Kanchidesha. Kanchi area. Kunkuma Shonehi. Her color, as we have seen before, is similar to Kunkumam. Shona is red color. Red color like Kunkumam. Shambhu Sukrita Sambharehi. Shambhu is Shiva. Sukrita is Punya. Sukrita means well done. Whatever you have done, act of merit, that will give you Punya. So Sukrita is a karma which has given you Punya and is also a word used to refer to Punya. So merit, Sukrita, Punya of Shambhu, Shiva's Punya, Sambharehi. Sambhara means a heap. Sambhara means a heap. He has done a lot of punya. All that punya has taken the form of Devi. So Devi has become his consort. To attain Devi as a consort, how much of punya he must have done? Mass of punya. That is the mass. Sambhara is mass. Sambhu Sukrita Sambhare. Sambhu Sukrita Sambhara is the name of Devi. Just as Kanchidesha Sauhardam Kurvana is the name of Devi. Kunkuma Shona is the name of Devi. So Sambhu Sukrita Sambhara is also a name of Devi. That means that Punya has taken this form. Kushala Patham Nichitam. By this Devi, whose description we have seen before, Kushala Patham has been Nichitam. Nichitam means has been laid. Patha means path. A path has been laid. Kushala means well-being. Actually, what is the path of well-being laid by Devi? Path of well-being is twofold. One is comfort in this world. Second is moksha for the next world. So both are part of this kushala. So that kind of the path of moksha, path of well-being in this world has been laid down by Devi. Nichitam means laid down. It is there for us to follow. Because she is Suhurda of Kanchidesha, she is there in Kanchidesha. We worship her and then we see that path. That's what the poet implies. That's why he is bringing Kanchidesha and Kushalapatha. So Kushalapatha is emanating from Kanchidesha once you go and worship. Once you go and worship there, then you can keep worshipping in your mind. That's what he means. So Devi, whose young bosom is just blossomed, who is maintaining Sauharda, well-wisher, state of well-wishership with Kanchidesha, whose red color is similar to Kunkuma, and who is herself a form of the heap of Punya of Shiva. Now that Devi has laid down the Kushala Patha, the path of well-being for us. Next.
Ankita kachena kenachit andhankara naushadhena kamalana antapurena shambho alankriya kapi kalpyate kancham.
Ankita kachena kenachit andhankarana aushadhena kamalana. That whole line means she is wearing moon, crescent moon on her head. That is the simple meaning, but very poetically he is describing that moon. Ankita kachena. Kacha is hair. Her tresses are ankita, marked by moon. Moon is described as kenachit andhankarana aushadhena kamalana. Kenachit, some aushadha, some medicine. By some medicine, her hair is marked. What is that medicine? That medicine is capable of andhankarana kamalanam. It will blind the lotuses. Andhankarana, andha is a blind. Andhankarana, making one blind. Whom the moon is making blind? Lotuses. Because lotuses are not able to blossom during night time. They close. So he is saying, they close means they are not able to see anymore. Their vision is taken away. So, andhankarana, making them blind. Kamalana, the lotuses. Kenachiti, that is a poetical way of referring to the moon. Someone who is able to have that medicine, the medicine is able to blind the lotuses. By that person, her hair is marked. Ankita kachena. Antapurena shambhoho. Shambhoho Antapurena. Antapura, as we all know, is the inner female apartment of a king, a king's palace. In a king's palace, you have an Antapura, which is the female apartment. Now, here, what does it mean? Shambhoho Antapura. Antapura of Shiva, the female apartment of Shiva. It means Antapura means his heart. Here, because they are not referring to his mansion in Kailasa. There, of course, she is the ornament of the mansion in the Kailasa, but that is not the reference here. Shambhoho Antapura is actually his own heart. Inside of his heart, Pura is the heart here. So Shambhoho Antapurena Kancham Kapi Alankriya Kalpyate. Kancham, in Kanchi, by this Devi who has been described by with having a moon on her head, who is the Antapura of Shambhu, by that Devi, Kancham, in Kanchi, Kapi Alankriya Kalpyate. Kalpyate means is done, is prepared, is made. What is made? Alankriya. In Kanchi, she becomes the ornament, Bhushana. She is the ornament of Kanchi. So she does the Alankarana of Kanchi. That's what he says. In Kanchi, Alankarana is made by her. That is the passive voice he is using. Kalpyate is made by Devi, Kancham in Kanchi, Alankriya, Alankarana, the decoration. So Devi is having her hair marked by moon, who has got a medicine of blinding the lotuses, and Devi is the power occupying the heart of Shambhu, heart of Shiva, and by Devi in Kanchi, decoration has been done. She is the ornament of Kanchi. Yeah, next. Uri Karom.
Uri karomi santatam ऊष्मलफालेन लालितं पुंसा उपकम्प मुचितखेलनम् उर्वीधर वंश सम्पदुन्मेषम्.
Uri Karomi means I meditate. I meditate on Santatam. I meditate always. Santatam always. I meditate always on Ushmala Phalena Pumsa Lalitam. Ushmala Phala Pumsa is the reference to Shiva. Pumsa is a Purusha, a male, by a male who is having Ushmala Phala. Phala means forehead. Ushmala means hot. Ushna. Ushmala. Ushma also means heat. Ushmala phala, a hot forehead. That means what? A forehead which has netra of Agni, the third eye of Agni. So he is having a hot forehead. That male, that is Shiva, by him lalitam. Lalitam means caressed, by him sported, loved. Devi is loved, Devi is sported, Devi is caressed by Shiva, who is having a hot forehead because of the Agni Netra. I constantly think of that Devi. Upakampam, she is on the banks of Kampa river, so she is very close to Kampa river. Upakampam means close to Kampa river. Uchita Khelanam, Khelanam means playing about. She is playing about on the banks of Kampa. Uchita, suitable. Suitable means what? Suitable means such play which will show us the Kusala Patha. We saw before, na? Kusala Patham, Nikitam. So her sport should show us the path of Kusala, the path of well-being. That is the sport. Then only it is Uchita. Otherwise it is Anuchita for us. For Jivas, if her sport is not conducive to our well-being, then it is no longer Uchita. So, but she is not like that. She is Uchita Khelanam. So her sport is very conducive to our well-being. So it is suitable. Uchita, suitable. Urvidhara Vamsha Sampat Unmesham. Urvidhara is Mahidhara, we saw before, I think. Mountain. That which supports the earth. Urvi means earth. Urvidhara, which supports the earth, which is the name for mountain. Bhudhara, Mahidhara, these are all names of mountains. Mountain. Urvidhara Vamsha, the Vamsha of the mountain, the lineage of mountain, that means lineage of Himavan. Lineage of Himavan. Sampat, she is the wealth of the lineage of Himavan. That is obvious. But he is not stopping with that. Urvedara Vamsa Sampat, he could have stopped. He didn't stop there. Urvedara Vamsa Sampat, that wealth is Unmesham. Unmesham means just opening up. Opening up of the wealth. That means he did so much of penance. Himavan's penance is described, very intense penance is described very very widely in so many Puranas, particularly in Devi Bhagavatam. There, after all that penance, Devi appears in front of all the Devas and then announces, when Himavan is also present, she makes an announcement. She says, I am going to be born as the daughter of this Himavan. Himavan could not believe his ears, believe his eyes. He starts dancing. All this is described in the Devi Bhagavatam. So that is the moment of Unmesham, isn't it? When he got that good news and when he actually got her as his daughter. So that is the Sampat Unmesham. So that is the starting of his Sampat. That is the opening up. Unmesha means opening of the eyes. Unmesha Nimishotpanna Vipanna Bhuvanavali, says Lalita Sahasranam. Unmesha is opening the eye, Nimesha is closing the eye. When she opens the eye, Utpanna Bhuvanavali, all the worlds, Avali, all the rows of worlds are created, Utpanna. Vipanna, when she closes her eyes, they are all destroyed. They all meet their end. So this Unmesha is opening up. Now here the opening up is the luck of the Sampat, the wealth of the Vamsha of Himavan, not only Himavan. Himavan's Sampat he didn't say. Himavan's Vamsha's Sampat, lineage of Sampat, because once she was born to Himavan as daughter, Himavan's Vamsha itself has become sacred, so it becomes a wealth for the Vamsha. So that wealth started only when she appeared as his daughter, isn't it? That is the Unmesham. So I meditate constantly on Devi, who is caressed, who is loved by Shiva, who is having hot forehead, Agni Netra, who plays on the banks of Kampa river, and she plays suitably. She plays a suitable sport, suitable for Jivas, and she is the opening up of the wealth of the lineage of Himavan. Next. Ankurita.
अङ्कुरितस्तनकोरकम् अङ्कालङ्कारम् एकचूतपतेः आलोके महिकोमलम् आगमसंलाप सारयाथार्थ्यम्.
Ankurita stana korakam. This is the more or less repeat of what we saw in the earlier verse. Kudmalita Kuchakishoraihi we saw. It is similar to that. Stana is bosam. Koraka is bud. Ankurita is just sprouted. A bud which has just sprouted. That is the meaning of this Ankurita stana korakam. The bud which is the bosom, which has just sprouted. Now, why he is describing the bosom again and again? That is because for us to develop the Matru Bhava in Devi. She is the mother. She is the mother of all of us. So to remind us, to keep us reminding of that, he is talking about this. Ankalankaram eka chotapatehe. There are two things which he is repeatedly referring to. One is her physical beauty. Second is, because of the physical beauty, how she is winning over Shiva. So these two things he is bringing about, so that our bhakti towards Devi as well as Shiva is strengthened. That's the idea. Ankalankaram eka chotapatehe. Chotapate is Eka Chotapate, Eka Amranatha. Eka Amranatha is another word for Eka Chotapate. Chota is Amra, mango. Pati is the Lord. Eka, Lord under single mango tree. Eka Chotapate, hey, Shiva. Anka is the lap. Alankara is the decoration. So Devi is the decoration of the lap of Shiva. She is sitting on his lap. Aloke Mahi means we see, we have darshan. We have darshan of this Devi who is Komalam, who is very soft, and who is Agama Sanlapa Sara Yatharthyam. See how he travels, the poet travels from physical to super physical, supernatural, to the highest moksha level, highest jnana level, in one and the same sloka. That is the beauty of various verses which we see here. The travel is so fast. He started with Ankurita Stana Korakam. Now he is ending up with Agama Sanlapa Sara Yatharthyam. Agama is Vedas. Sanlapa is conversation. Vedas are having conversation with whom? With us. Whenever we study Vedas, they are having a conversation with us. As you see, Vedas also have got lot of teachings, lot of descriptions, lot of stories in Upanishad and so on. Now all those are teachings to us. So he is calling it as Sanlapa. The conversation which Veda is having, which is contained in the Vedas, Hara, the essence of all this. What is the essence of the conversation of Vedas? That is the Paramatma. Yatharthyam. Yathartha means the truth. Yatharthyam is being the truth. Yathartha is truth. Being the truth. She is the truth. Devi is the truth of the essence of the conversations of the Vedas. That means what? Vedas are keen to expound Paramatma so that we all know that this world is false, this body is false, mithya, and only Paramatma is the truth. So that is the essence of the teachings of Upanishads. Now that essence, if we cannot understand without Devi's Kripa, now Devi is taken a form for us to worship and gain this knowledge. That is the Agama Sanlapa Sara Yatharthyam. She is the truth which is taught to us by Upanishad with great effort, but here you can develop the same knowledge by worshipping Devi. So we see here in Kanchi Devi who has a bosom which is a bud which has just blossomed, young bosom, and he is the decoration, ornament of the lap of Ekamranatha, Shiva, and she is very soft, and she is the only truth of the essence of the conversations of the Vedas. Next. Unjita Karunam.
Unjita Karunamudanchita Sinjita Mani Kanchi Kimapi Kanchi Pure Manjarita mrudulahasam pinjaratanuruchi pinaki mooladhanam.
Punjita karunam. Punjita means heaped. Anything which is heaped together in the form of a heap, that is called punja. Punja means a concentrated heap. Karuna, compassion, if you imagine as a heap, in a concentrated heap, that is Devi. That means what? Karuna embodied, embodiment of Karuna, compassion. Udanchita, Shinjita, Manikanchi. Kanchi is the ornament which is worn on the waist by women, waistband. Manikanchi, gem-studded waistband. Shinjita, it has small bells, tinkling bells, small bells which are tinkling. So that is, Shinjita is the tinkling bells. Udanchita, Udanchita is making sound. So the tinkling bells of the gem-studded waist ornament, gem-studded Odyana, gem-studded Kanchi, Odyana is another name, that is making the beautiful sound. Kimapi, someone in Kanchipura, someone is having a Kanchi which is making the sound. Someone is an embodiment of Karuna. That someone is the description of Devi. Manjarita Mrudula Hasam. Hasam, as we all know, is smile. Mrudula Hasam, very gentle smile. Mrudu, soft, very gentle smile. Manjarita, if you imagine a cluster of flowers, a bunch of flowers, and each flower is a hasa, mrudu hasa. Each flower is a gentle smile. A cluster of flowers, a flower is all mrudu hasa, gentle smile, that is Devi. Manjarita mrudula hasam, pinjara tanuruchi. Pinjara means gold colored, yellow colored. Tanu is body, ruchi, shining. Shining, her body is shining with the color of gold. Pinaki Mooladhanam. Pinaki is another name of Shiva. His bow is called Pinaka. Just as Vishnu's bow is called Sharanga, Shiva's bow is called Pinaka. Pinaki, Shiva who is holding Pinaka bow. Shiva's Mooladhanam, capital wealth. She is the capital wealth. Without capital wealth, we will become very poor, isn't it? So similarly, Shiva will become very poor in absence of Devi. That is the idea. So Devi has been described as the heap of Karuna, compassion embodied, and her she is in Kanchipuram, and she is having a waistband, a Udyana, a gem-studded Udyana, where the tiny bells are making a beautiful tinkling sound, and she is a cluster of flowers. The flowers themselves are gentle smile, and her body is golden color, and she is the wealth, capital wealth of Shiva. Next.
Lola hridayosmi shambhoho lochana yugalena lekhyamānāyām lalita paramashivāyām lavanyamrita tarangamālāyām.
He says, the poet says, he is Lola Hridaya. Lola Hridayaha Asmi. Asmi means I am. I am Lola Hridaya. Hridaya is heart. Lola means full of desire. My heart is full of desire for this Devi. Shambhoho lochana yugalena lekhyamānāyām. Lekhya, you might all have known. Lekhya. Now Diwali is coming. During Diwali, there is preparation of lekhya in our houses. Lekhyam we say. Lekhya. In fact, Acharya distributes lekhya on the morning of the Diwali. So, lekhyamana means something which is licked. There are 4 types of food described in our Shastras. One is bitten, another is drunk, and so on. Now, one of the four is licked. Lekshyamanayam, someone which is licked. What is licked? Shambhoho lochana yugalena. Shambhoho of Shiva, lochana eyes, yugala twin eyes. Something is being licked by twin eyes of Shiva. How can you lick anything with eyes? That means drunk with eyes. It means enjoyed with eyes. Lekshamanayam is a poetical way of saying enjoyed. Enjoyed with the twin eyes of Shambhu. Lochana Yugalena. That means she is concentrating so much that that Shambhu is directing both his eyes on seeing Devi only. It's not indifferent look. It is a very concentrated look. That's why he is using the term Yugala. Both the eyes are concentrated on drinking the beauty of Devi. Lalita Paramashivayam. This is also an extension of the same thought. Lalita Paramashiva. Lalita means making him caress, making him love, making Paramashiva love. Devi makes Paramashiva love. Lalita, Lalana. How a mother does Lalana to the child, like that. Caressing, sporting, loving. Lavanya Amrita Tarangamalayam. Mala is garland. Tarangamala is garland of waves. Waves of what? Waves of Amrita. If you imagine Amrita ocean, that is where Devi is seated in Sripura, we all know. Sudha Sagara Madhyastha. Now in Sudha Sagara, there is Sudha is Amrita. Tarangamala, there in that ocean you have waves continuously coming, one after the other. When you have continuous waves, that is like a mala, like that is a lahari, that is called, that is why Saundara lahari has come. Tarangamala is a lahari, continuous waves of nectar. Here, what nectar, what Amrita? Lavanya. Lavanya is beauty. That means her beauty, the form of the beauty is such that it is very sweet like nectar and it is coming in waves, continuously in waves. It is not static, it is dynamic. That means what? If you look at Devi at this moment, she is beautiful in particular manner. After 5 minutes, you look at her, she is beautiful in a different manner. Even paintings of great painters, we say, oh, this paint looks different at different times. In this angle, it is different. In that angle, it is different. It gives this picture, it gives that. Even for ordinary paintings of ordinary painters, we enjoy so much. Now, what about Devi? So her beauty is such that every time she is beautiful, but differently beautiful. So that is a wave, continuous wave. It's not a static beauty, it's a dynamic beauty. That's why he is referring to it as Tarangamala. Tarangamala is the equivalent of Lahari. So the poet says, my heart is full of desire for seeing someone whose form has been licked by the twin eyes of Shambhu. That means has been enjoyed, has been drunk by the twin eyes of Shiva, and who is capable of making Shiva love her, caress her, sport with her, and she is herself a continuous wave of nectar of beauty. Next.
Madhukara sagachara chikuraihi Madanagama samaya deekshita katakshaihi Mandita kampatiraihi Mangala kandai mamastu sarupyam.
Now he is going into the thought of moksha. Sarupyam is moksha. Mama sarupyam astu. Let me get moksha. Let me get sarupya moksha. Moksha is defined in our Shastra of 4 types. One is Sarupyam, another is Salokyam, another is Samipyam, and the 4th is Sayujyam. Sayujyam is supposed to be the highest. Sarujyam is merging. though you lose your identity completely, you merge with Paramatma. You become Paramatma yourself. That is Sarupyam. That is Sayujyam. Now the other three are slightly lesser than that, but they will lead you to that ultimately. These are steps leading to Sayujyam. One of the steps is Sarupyam. Sarupyam means having the same form as Bhagavati. Say, having the same rupa, having the same form as Bhagavati. Salokyam means living in the same world of Bhagavati. Wherever she is living in Sripura, okay, I will also live in Sripura. If she lives in Kanchipuram, I will go and live in Kanchipuram along with her. So living along with her, that is Salokyam. Samipyam, being close to her. See, Salokyam is living in the same world. The world is very large. If you see the description of Sripura, there are 24 stages before you reach the inner apartment where she is giving darshan. There are 24 stages, 24 prakaras you have to cross. Now, that is the world of Sripura. Now, if you are in the outermost prakara also, you have attained Salokya. But Samipya means you have to go close to her. So, if you are in the innermost apartment where she is giving darshan, then you have reached Samipya. That is being close, being Samipa, being close. Sayujya is being joining, merging indistinguishably. That is Sayujyam. So now he is asking for Sarupyam. He is a prayer actually. Mama Sarupyam astu. Let me get Sarupyam. Now with whom? That is the description. Madhukara Sahachara Chikuraihi. Chikura is hair. Her hair is similar to Madhukara. Madhukara means bee, honey bee. Honey bee is black, we all know. So her hair is also black. Sahachara is similar to what we saw before. Looking similar to honey bee. Madanagama Samaya Dikshita Katakshahi. Madana Agama. Madana is another name for Manmatha. Agama is Shastra. Manmatha's Shastra. Manmatha's Shastra is Kama Shastra. We know. Kama Shastra's Samaya, conclusion or principles. The principles of Kama Shastra, Dikshita. Dikshita means expert. Kataksha means her glance, her sidelong glance. Her sidelong glance is an expert in the principle of the Shastra of love. That means what? By merely directing her sidelong glance, she is able to generate Kama, generate love. That is why she is known as Kamakshi. Her eyes produce Kama. Her eyes also can fulfill all the Kama. That is why she is known as Kamakshi. Producing and fulfilling. So he says, her Kataksha, her sidelong glance, or Dikshita or expert. Dikshita can be interpreted in two ways. One is an expertise, another is being bound. That means have taken a promise. Her sidelong glance have taken a vow, taken a promise. Diksha is a vow. They have taken a vow of fulfilling the desire of the worshipper. So that is the indirect meaning. Madanagama Samaya. The principle of the Shastra of Manmatha, Kama Shastra, love. Mandita Kampatirehi. Mandanam is decorating. Khandanam is destroying. Khandanam is the opposite of Mandanam. Khandanam is criticizing, destroying. That is. Mandanam is decorating, beautifying. She is beautifying Kampatira, the bank of Kampa. She is the ornament of Kampatira, the bank of Kampa river. Mangala Kandaihi. Kanda is the root we have seen before. Mangala Kandaihi, she is the root of auspicious things. She is the root of auspicious things. She is the cause of auspicious things. With that object, which is all described in plural again, because of the respect and honor for Devi, With that object, mama sarupyam astu, let me get the same form as that object, that is the Devi. So with what form? Madhukara, Sahachara, Chikurehi. She is having hair which is similar to honeybee, black in color, and her sidelong glance, her kataksha, are experts in the principles of the Shastra of love, of Kama Shastra, and she is the ornament of the banks of Kampa river, and she is the root of Mangala, auspiciousness. With that object, let me get Sarupyam. Next, Vadanaravind.
वदनारविन्दवक्षो वामाङ्कतटी वशं वदीभूता पुरुषत्रितये त्रेधा पुरन्ध्रिरूपा त्वमेव कामाक्षी.
It may appear that we are going very fast, but actually this is Arya Shatakam has got only 2 lines, all the other Shatakam has got 4 lines. Every verse will take longer there. So it is better we save time now so that we are able to spend more time in the future Shatakas. And these are comparatively simpler verses. Now he is describing, calling her as Kamakshi. Tvameva Kamakshi, you alone. Hey Kamakshi, you alone. Tvameva, it's an emphasis. You alone. What is the description of you alone? Vadana Aravinda Vaksha Vamankatati Vashamvadi Bhuta. Now, Purusha Tritaye in 3 Purushas. Purusha Tritaye in 3 Purushas, in 3 males. Trita means 3. Purusha males. In 3 males, and in 3 males, she is Tredha Purandhri Rupa in 3 different forms. Tredha in 3 forms. Purandhri. Purandhri is married woman, in the form of a married woman. In the 3 male devas, she is in the form of married woman, and she has taken 3 forms. That is Parvati, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. Gauri, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. These are the 3 forms, and she is the married woman for those 3 devas, Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Now, Purusha Tritaye means the 3 Purushas, the 3 male devas. Tredha in 3 forms. Purandhri Rupa, married woman form. That means what? One and the same Devi has taken 3 forms. Gauri, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, and the 3 are consorts of the 3 Tridevas. Now, that how they are seated, how she is seated in those devas is described in the first line. For Brahma, she is seated in his mouth, in his tongue. Saraswati is seated in the tongue of Brahma. Vadana Aravinda, lotus face, lotus mouth. Vadana means both face and mouth. Here it should be interpreted as mouth. Lotus face, mouth. Mouth in the lotus face. Vadana Aravinda of Brahma. Vaksha in the chest. Lakshmi is seated in the chest of Vishnu. Vamanka Tati. Vama, left. Anka, lap. Left lap. Area. Tati means area. In the area of the left lap of Shiva. In the mouth of Brahma, in the chest of Vishnu, and in the left lap of Shiva, Vashamvadi Bhuta. Vashamvadi means residing in, seated in. Actually, Vashamvadi means controlled by. That is, she is sitting there comfortably. That is the meaning of that. Vashamvadi means she is controlled by the seat. That means what? You are not sitting uncomfortably, you are sitting comfortably. That is why you are Vashamvadi Bhuta. You can also interpret as she is the Pativrata, because she has been described as Purandhri, married woman. Married woman, Sumangali, Pativrata Devi of those 3 devas. So she is under the control of those 3 devas, Vashamvadi. You can also interpret like that. Vashamvadi Bhuta. She is under the control of the 3 devas. The 3 devas are Purusha Tritaye. 3 devas are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in that order. Brahma, Saraswati, Vadana, Aravinda, lotus mouth, Vaksha for Vishnu, chest, Lakshmi, and for Shiva it is the left lap, Vama area of left lap. Vamankatati, Vashamvadi Bhuta. So you alone, Sameva Kamakshi, you alone have taken the three forms of Gauri, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, and you are seated in the forms of those three devas, and you are maintaining your Pativratya. That is why you are Purandhri and you are Vashamvadi Bhuta. Sameva Kamakshi, you alone. So this is very important. That's what we mentioned in the beginning of this lecture, that Kamakshi is not only Shiva's consort Parvati, she is actually Parashakti, Adi Parashakti, Parabhattarika, Lalita Parameshwari, Tripura Sundari, various names are given. So that is why he is now bringing it to our notice. Sameva Kamakshi, you alone, or in three different forms. And you are still different from those three forms because you are Adi Parashakti. Next, Badha Karim.
बाधाकरीं भवाब्धेः आधाराद्यम्बुजेषु विचरन्ति आधारीकृतकाञ्चीं बोधामृत वीचिमेव विमृशामः.
Vimrshamaha. Vimrshamaha means we deliberate. Vimarshanam we all know is a deliberation. So Vimrshamaha, we deliberate, we think, we consider, we meditate. Here, in fact, we should understand it as meditation because there is nothing to consider the various aspects. It's not like that. Unless you interpret it as consideration of various leelas of Devi. Now, Badha Karim Bhavabdhehe. Bhava Abdhi. Samsara Sagara we say. That is Bhava Abdhi. Bhava is Samsara. Abdhi is Sagara, ocean. Samsara Sagara, ocean of this existence, which is always changing. That is why it's called Samsara. Samsara means ever changing. It is a continuous series of births and deaths. That is why it's called Samsara. So Bhava is Samsara. Samsara, ocean of Samsara. Badha Kari. Badha means obstruction. She becomes an obstacle in the ocean of samsara. Means what? She stops. She destroys the ocean of samsara. She destroys the succession of births and deaths. So she is an obstacle in the ocean of. She destroys that ocean of samsara. Adharadi ambujeshu vicharantim. Adhara, the six chakras in the human form, Mooladhara. So he is referring to that. Adhara Adi. That means chakras like Adhara. There are six chakras before you go to Sahasrara, as we all know. Mooladhara is the first chakra at the base of the spine. Then you have Swadhisthana. Then you have Manipuraka. Then you have Anahata. Then you have Vishuddhi in the heart area. Then Ajna in the forehead area. So these are the six chakras. Shat chakra vibhedanam, as we say. So unless you break open, unless you cross these six chakras and ascend, make your Kundalini Shakti ascend to Sahasrara, the chakra at the top of the head, then you will not be, unless you do this, you will not be able to get union with Shiva. Devi goes and gets union with Shiva by going to Sahasrara Chakra. And when she is united with Shiva, then that is the time when she gives the maximum blessings to us. So he says, Adharadi Ambujeshu, because each is described as a lotus. If you see Yoga Shastra, each of these six chakras is described as lotus, and each is having a devata associated with that chakra. Like Mooladhara chakra is associated with Ganapati, like that, Vishnu, and so on. Now, Brahma, and so on. Now, Adharadi Ambujeshu, in the lotuses, starting with Mooladhara chakra, that means those chakras which are marked by lotuses. Vicharantim, she is moving about. She is moving about as Kundalini Shakti in the chakras which are in the form of lotuses, starting with Adhara, Mooladhara, and ending with Sahasrara. Adharadi Ambujeshu Vicharantim. Adhari Krita Kanchim. Now he is bringing the word Adhara once again. That is the beauty of the poetry. Adhari Krita Kanchim. She has made Kanchi as her Adhara, as support. Means what? As a residence. Residence is our support, isn't it? We go out and come back to our residence because that is where we get our support. So she has made Kanchi as her abode, as her residence. Bodhamrita Vichimeva Vimarishamaha. We consider, we deliberate, we worship only that Devi. Eva means only. Only whom? Bodhamrita Vichi. Vichi means waves. Amrita Vichi, waves of nectar. We saw earlier, similar to that. Bodha Amrita. What Amrita? He is explaining it clearly, not just the Amrita which is consumed by Devas, not that Amrita. This is Amrita of Bodha. Bodha means Jnana. Jnana Amrita, the nectar of Jnana, which is in the form of waves. Nectar of Jnana comes in the form of waves. What does it mean? It means Jnana is ever incomplete. You can never say, I have attained the highest jnana. Unless you attain Sayujya, unless you attain merger with Devi, till that, even if you attain Sarupya, Samipya, etc., you have not attained the pinnacle of jnana. Pinnacle of jnana is still far away. That is why he is saying Amrita Vichi, because it is coming in waves, wave after wave. So you have to go through that and attain higher and higher jnana. So that wave is Devi herself, Kamakshi herself. So she is the obstacle of samsara sagara. She is the Devi moving about as Kundalini Shakti among the 6 chakras, which are in the form of lotuses of different number of petals, 4, 6, 12, etc. And she has made Kanchi as her Adhara, as her abode, and she is in the form of Vichi, in the form of waves of Amrita, of Jnana. So we worship her, we consider her. I think we stop for the day and we allow time for questions, and yeah, we take questions now.
Those who have questions, you can please raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
And Namaskaram, Mama. In 37, what was Udanchita?
Udanchita. Udanchita means making sound.
Okay.
Making sound, sounding.
Thank you.
Guruji, in sloka number 32, the first word, Kuruvinda Gotra Gatram. Can you please explain that once again?
Kuruvinda Gotra Gatram. Gotra is mountain, Gatra is body. Her body is a mountain of ruby. Kuruvinda is ruby.
Okay.
That is red color.
Namaste, Mama. 38, first line.
38. Yeah.
Lola Hridayosti Shambhoho Lochana Yugayana Dehya Manayam. What is Manayam?
No. Lekhya mana is that which is licked. Lekhya is something which is licked. Lekhya mana is something which is licked. Lekhya manayam Devi is who is being licked. It's a female. Like Manaya, Mana is female. Manayam in that Devi. It's a vibhakti. In that Devi. Who is being licked.
Thank you.
In that Devi, I have given my heart. Lola Hridayosmi. I have given my heart in that Devi. My heart is in that Devi. That's the meaning.
Okay. Thank you.
Guruji, just one more question. In sloka number 36, the second line, the first word, Aloke Mahi.
Aloke Mahi means we see. Simple. Alokanam means act of seeing. If you have attended bhajans, there this comes Aloke, etc., etc. Frequently it will come. Aloka is see. Alokimahi means we see. It's a plural, that's why it's Alokimahi. We see. He is including the readers.
Namaskaram, Mama. Shloka 37. Manjarita Mridula Hasam. Bunch of flowers, gentle smile. I didn't follow that.
Yeah, it is each gentle smile is a flower. Now, if you can imagine a bunch of flowers, that is Manjari. Manjari is a bunch of flowers. Each flower is a Mridula Hasa. Each flower is a gentle smile. That means her gentle smile is so attractive that you keep seeing every time it looks different. That is the beauty. It is not a constant, it is not static, it is dynamic. That is why it is a flower Manjari. It is a bunch of flowers. Each flower is a Mridula Hasa, gentle smile.
Okay, thank you.
Namaskaram, Mama. Line number 40, Vashamvadi Bhuta. Could you explain that again?
Vashamvadi Bhuta means she is under the control of. Vashamvada, being under the control of. Bhuta is also being under the control of. Being under the control of the three devas, she is taking those three forms.
Okay.
That is one meaning. Vashamvadi Bhuta means she is seated. Vashamvada can also be interpreted as being seated, be sitting. She is sitting in those places which have been described. Vadana, Ravinda, Vaksha, and Vamankatati. In those places, she is seated in those three Purushas.
Thank you.
I think we have no more questions, sir. So shall we end the meeting?
I think we have reached the end of questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we close for the day. I wish all of you happy Deepavali. We will meet again next Saturday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskaram,
Thank you,
Mama.
Padma.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.